All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to BattleBox. Thank you guys for joining us here. So this morning we're going to be talking about the October 1 protest and the significance of the October 1 protests. Like, what is going on? What are people talking about? And why is this something that you should be worried about? So on October 1 is going to be the National Day of protest, whereby people are going to be taking time off. So the time of this recording, that is just in a matter of days. What do you have to know? What do you have to be doing? And how do you make sure that you are prepared for this incoming protest? Before I get started, I want to play to you guys and show you some of the things that are going on in the country and what people are talking about this protest. First, we're going to start with Dele Farutimi and someone who I highly respect and admire. Let's hear what he has to say about the situation of things and why we need a protest on October 1.
Just about existing. They don't think beyond their lifetime. All they focus on is a stupid acquisition of money, obscene display of debauchery of all sorts, ever more debased acquisition of the commonwealth. Are those the ones you call elite? Mindless pursuit of money as if they are going to live forever. They live stupidly consumed by the pursuit of money. We don't have elite in Nigeria. We have no elites in Nigeria. If we were a country blessed with an elite class, they would have demanded better, both of themselves and of the society they have built. You know the tragedy of the people you are calling elite? The pinnacle of their achievement in their own eyes is their capacity to buy homes abroad and send their children abroad and be able to take their children abroad. They build things that their children cannot even inherit. They are building a country that their children can't survive in. Are those the ones you are calling elite? Which elite? Nigeria is not blessed with an elite class. Wherever you look at it, whether it's in the academia, whether it's in politics, whether it's in the economy itself, which elite? The only thing they compete about is my private jet is bigger than yours. That's all now. Which elite? What is elite about our society? Exactly what have they done in the society that is suggestive of a people that may be considered elite? What elite? All of them are carrying second passports. Each and every one of the person you may call elite in Nigeria today has a second passport. If the British who governs us indirectly or the Americans who benefit from our putrefaction have not granted them either permanent stay or residence or their passport, their children are carrying it, or they will go and buy one of the Mediterranean countries' passports, or they will go to say all these funny countries, Grenadine, this one, that one, each and every, including your traditional rulers, they all carry all these funny passports up and down the place. Are those the ones they are calling elite? Elites living in slums. Those are the elites. We have no elites in Nigeria. Don't let's fool ourselves. We have no elites. So please, stop. You don't have an elite. I'm sorry to say. There is no elite in Nigeria. Please.
Okay, so that's Dele Farutimi, and he made a lot of points. Again, thank you for joining us. We are just watching. We are talking about the October 1 protest and why the protest organizers are demanding and insisting on a protest. The first thing he talked about is that all these elites is about show off in terms of cars. Who gets car pass? I get car pass you. You know, get car pass me. Bishop Oyedepo, God bless him, man of God, I love him. I did a video earlier talking about how there was just a show off of cars. He go to Rolls Royce, what is it? All different kind of Lexus. The politicians were there. Just the place just smell like the smell of corruption, even though it's supposed to be a birthday for a church. And this is 3 days or a week before election. I'm sorry, this is a week before the national protest where there's hunger. People are very, very hungry in the country. And you have these religious organizations gathering, and somebody came on the comments and was saying that I'm talking nonsense. Omo, you don't even know what is going on. I don't want to respond to that, but things are difficult. People are buying cars. Politicians are buying cars left and right, making money left and right. And there's nobody being held culpable. It seems like you can do whatever you want and get away with whatever you want. There's no accountability. There's no accountability, and there's nobody that you can hold and say, this country, this person is doing this person is doing that. People are just doing anyhow. So that is why there need to be a protest. That is why there need to be a situation whereby people need to make their voices heard, because obviously the government is not listening at all. The government is not listening to people. The government is not listening to we the population, the public. Here's a research that was done by Nairametrics. I'm going to share my computer so you guys can see. And it's just when you say Luti Baje, this is what we mean. This is what we're talking about. So here he's talking about a presidency spends 160 billion naira to buy foreign currencies only for international trips in 1 year. This is from Nairametrics. If you go on the website, you can find this. I'm not making this up. So when a country spends 16 billion naira, 16 billion naira for international trips in 1 year. I did a video also talking about Tinubu's trip and how Tinubu is on track to be the most traveled president, the most traveled president in Nigeria. Yes, Buhari spent 225 days in London, but that's like one trip. But Tinubu, like Baba Ojokuzile, like he doesn't sit at home. He's just traveling, pam, 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 going for work travel. I don't even know, say something they call work travel. With presidents, will go abroad to the work. So why spend so much money on Aso Rock? Why invest so much on Aso Rock if you not sit down on Aso Rock? The presidency spent 16 billion naira to buy foreign currencies for international trips just in 1 year. What is the value of the international trips? Allegedly, they say the international trips is meant to bring foreign investors. But if you look at the matter, foreign investors have left the country. They are fleeing in drones. Why are they fleeing? Because the naira is unstable. Nobody wants to invest their money. Even we Nigerians, we are afraid of investing in Nigerians, and most of us don't even collect naira. You pay us in dollars or pounds. That's those of us that are in Nigeria. If you want to talk to some lawyers now, it's only dollars they collect. Some organizations, they don't even take naira. What an abuse of naira, which is more than the Bobrisky's abuse of naira. The politicians are abusing naira more by devaluating our currency and buying foreign currencies for international trips. So this is why people want to protest, because things are not the way they are supposed to be. Things have gotten very, very worse and not getting better. Sitoji Baba, Sitoji, yeah, welcome to the show. This is like a loyal follower, Sitoji. Thank you for that. Waiting Nigeria need now for absolute revolution. Oga, oh Musimbo. This one you are saying bloody one. Igbo say Akamadira, like Akamadira, my hand no did here. So this one you are calling Sitoji, you my guy, but the one they call bloody revolution, I do not subscribe to bloody revolution. Please, no bloodshed, but there can be a peaceful revolution. And if you think it must be bloody, Sitoji, can you tell us why? Why do you think it needs to be bloody? Because I want to hear your opinion and I want to hear your thoughts. I don't believe there's a need for a bloody revolution, because lives will be lost. There's no need to kill anybody or to kill people, to buy anybody over this matter. Even for the protest, we call for a peaceful protest. No bloody protest, none of that. So if you need to explain yourself, I told you, why do you think there needs to be a bloody revolution? So because I don't agree with you on that one, Baba. But then Daily also talk about Daily Farrington. For those of you that are just joining us, we are talking about the October 1st protest and why people are fed up, people are tired, and that is he talked about second passports. Everybody gets second passports. If you remember, even when he was trying to get into office, they were accusing him of having, I think, was it a Guinea passport or so. All these politicians, they all get second passport. If they don't get second passports, they're picking, as Daily Priority said in that video, get second passports. if you look at the Edo election, what happened in the Edo election should be unacceptable to every Nigerian. It's an assault on democracy. It's an assault on the right of the people to choose. So that's something that we really should not stand by. And if our elections are not fair and fair, we need to call for the chairman of INEC to be suspended, or he should be put aside. If INEC has such a bad name, why is it that Tinubu is not even doing anything? Then I heard the Chief Justice, I forgot her name now, that the US even banned her, but she's becoming the Chief Justice of Nigeria. So corruption everywhere, and it's just the same cycle of people that are being recycled to us. We demand better. We demand better, and we should be able to get better. There's no reason why we should be able to get less. So here's another video of someone who was complaining about this situation. So let's take a look at this.
Normally, on a normal day, EFCC chairman, you're not supposed to better for you. Could any tough you know good better for you. EFCC nothing concern me with EFCC staff. EFCC chairman could any pada da for you. Pastor to wa loruko yin o ma pada fi ya je yin. You see, you and Cardoso, when my papa take position compensate, that's Cardoso and you and Cardoso.
We don't want to keep the people hungry and angry.
Dear Father,
but you say, be patient.
Your loyalists don't level up under your regime. Nigeria has
there is no free beer parlor anymore.
You don't even need to contest. You don't need. All you need to do is to apply for the results. When you say the highest level of corruption in Nigeria is happening under my father's regime, EFCC, Cardoso will never wear suit for the past 25 to 30 years. You carry compensation. You take a whole sensitive position. The state of the nation, you take and compensate them. Now, that man does not know right from left, front from back. Pounds is on his journey to 2005. On behalf of my father, they are just scattering this country. EFCC chairman cannot hold common Yaya Bello. We are just hearing humongous billions. 16 cancer, 24 can only die from EFCC. You see it? You see what loyalism costs? Daddy me, on behalf of you, they have destroyed this country. Finally, there was a country called Nigeria. There's no longer a country called Nigeria. Baba Jagaban, the people you are talking about, Beer Palo, they have upgraded. It is now lounge. They are lounging. Which day then bid for contract again for this country? No more bidding of contract. Everything is just happening. That the meeting is for law. Or the honor law. Baba Jagaban, evidence law. What a Benola. Nigeria is a gunner. This was not the agreement. You were supposed to bring people that will work. You are not supposed to bring loyalists. Why are you bringing loyalists? Are they stealing on behalf of you, Baba? Are they stealing on behalf of you? Because you can only bring people who are loyal to you when they have to report back to you. If not, where Cardoso has placed this country now? All those money they are talking about now, where that useless EFCC chairman cannot even arrest one person. We are just hearing you mungus money. Kole pada da fun yin o. Wallahi ki se pe adabi tó bá jẹ́ pé ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe. This one where they say they want change ministers. Cardoso must go. EFCC chairman must go. If you are not chase those two people, Baba Jagaban, if you not chase those two people, because so on behalf of Jagaban's family, my papa, he don't scatter this country. Nigeria. You are running scatter, looking for how to fix the problem. Your loyalists are running scatter, looting and siphoning and destroying this country the more. By the time you are back with the plans that you have for this Nigeria, you not go work again. Because you are running about for the one that was created 8 years, 16 years ago. On behalf of Tinubu, you are already creating another problem, which you don't have an idea of. So by the time you come to know, there will be no solution. Daddy me, send those two useless people away. They are not loyalists, they are destroyers. They have finished this country. 600,000 now, it's nothing. 1 million naira now is nothing. Dollars and pounds, those ones are just increasing. There was a country called Nigeria on behalf of my father, Tinubu. Hey! Daleru, eti daleru, elokawe leri buma shamfani ashiere. Àwọn tí ó lọ́pọlọ kankan, àwọn outdated brain, ọpọlọ tó yẹ kó ti lọ flush out, le lọ kó sí government. When you are supposed, Esa, no gbogbo loyalists in. You don't have the ones that they have children or grandchildren that are well read and educated. You cannot tell these small boys. Even this app that we are using to talk, now these small boys do them. Baba Jagaban, anybody moon le no one. Catch a man 25, 30, to get Tinubu Oshie, you know. On behalf of the family, Tinubu does scatter this country.
Okay, guys. So this lady claims to be Tinubu's daughter. According to her, she's Tinubu's daughter. And what she said is very funny, I think, because if you understand what she was saying is Tinubu has really scattered Nigeria. Is prioritizing loyalty. Those that are loyal to him. He's prioritizing that over. He's prioritizing loyalty over competence. So those that are more loyal to him is appointing them, even though they don't know what they are getting themselves into. I said if the person in the morning said it will be better for you, the afternoon said the afternoon person will say it will not be better for you. So just hauling courses on him, just the throwaway course left and right. So he talks saying be Tinubu daughter, but I don't know whether that's true or not. But it's a video someone sent me, and I think it's funny. But she has a lot of points, and she makes a lot of points there. And that's just to tell you guys that the condition of things have really, really deteriorated. And it is time. People really want to take this protest very, very seriously. So here's another video from some...
I call leadership stroke, where one part of your body is paralyzed. If a leader has character but does not have competence, does not have skills, leadership is a skill, does not have skills. It's like... They say you just boarded a bus, right? And then they said the driver is a very good man. He's a very kind, he's a very nice, very humble, very respectful, although nobody taught him how to drive. So it is only prayer and the grace of God that he uses to drive. Will you stay in that vehicle safely? No. I say it's a good man is not enough. Character is not enough. You got to have the skills. On the other hand, you have someone who has skill, who has competence, like we're saying, the person has a PhD, but has no character. You just have a sophisticated crook. And the person will use that sophistication to cheat you. Let me add a point here. I read a book several years back, Why Nations Fail, by Darren Acemoglu and James Robinson, two professors of economics. They studied why some countries are developed and why some are not. The basic thing they found, the political evolution of each country. So they found out that in most countries, the natural tendency as humans is you have a small group of people in the elite class. They control political power. Then they use political power to channel economic resources to benefit themselves and the people close to them. That's where Africa still is. That's where we still are. The countries that have been the most powerful, they broke the power of that elite class, right? They broke it. That's why they introduced democracy and introduced equality as a value. Started from France, that French Revolution thing. Until you do
the
that.
Price of bread.
Thank you. So right now, the citizens are shouting and crying. Some people are making money they've never made before. They're making billions they've never made before. The political class, the elite class will favor itself. But we have a beautiful model coming out of the Middle East where they don't even have democracies. They are monarchies. Why are they developing? Because they have an elite class that has conscience. Elite class that feels for the people. Nobody voted them in. You can't vote them out. They just chose themselves to be good to their people, to empower their people. It's so sad, I must say, that when we look at our own elite class, it seems as if it cannot even redeem itself. But we can only appeal. And honestly, I'm appealing. I've become part of the elite class now. I set up a leadership school 22 years ago to help push some people into the elite class, to have leaders that have conscience, right? I'm appealing to those who have found themselves in positions now where they have power, political power. Look, at the end of the day, they will pack you inside a box. My dad passed some few months back. We buried him about 4 weeks ago. And as I looked at his coffin, I remember the title of a book that I read. Still in my library. It all ends up in the box.
Yeah.
So in our family, we love to play Monopoly, financial education game. And each time when we finish the game, we pack everything inside the box. Life is like that. They will pack you inside the box somewhere. You may use your political power to control the narrative, now control the media, not even allow anybody to say anything against you. You will go. And one day the truth will still come out. What will be your place in our history? What a huge opportunity we have in Nigeria, in Africa, right? A whole continent is suffering. And I just want to appeal. It's time for us to have conscience. What else do you want to achieve in your life? It's a rare opportunity to be a leader at a high level. 200 million people, only few people occupying few positions. As we celebrate Nigeria's independence, I want to appeal to those of us that occupy positions, especially in government, that it is time to add conscience to that power and realize success is not about what you acquire, it's actually about what you give.
I have 10 other
That's a
questions.
good place to leave it today, but Doctor, really, you have to come back.
So I have to reserve my 10 questions to the next time?
Yes, but you have to, because our time is completely up.
Okay.
So he made a lot of points there. I mean, he made a lot of points there. Look at the countries that developed, a lot of them, the ruling class was able to share that power. The power was not concentrated in just a few people that have a monopoly of that power, but that power was shared and many people benefited and the whole community was lifted that way. But our ruling class, like somebody said there, our ruling class, they cannot even save themselves. They cannot save themselves. And at the end of the day, when you steal from the people, what will your legacy be? What will you be remembered for? And what will you be known for? So the protest is going on, is going to happen. And hopefully this time the government will pay attention. So Peter Obi said something that I find very, very interesting. And I want to share that video with you guys to let me know what you think about it.
Yes, there's no, in fact, in America, there's no office called Office of First Lady. It exists in name. And for the purpose of accompanying the president to trips, not just to have an office created with enormous budgets that are even beyond critical areas of development. No, you cannot entertain people. In America, if the president chooses today to entertain guests, he will pay for the food. If he chooses to have different dishes, he will pay for it. So he can decide how my wife is going to have we're going to have this type of fish from Japan. At the end of the month, he has to pay for it. So these things don't happen. You don't have renovations of different houses for the president. You know, if the president of America goes to New York today, he stays in a hotel. I've accompanied the president to trip in the past. The hotel is the president of America was staying in a hotel. So these are issues. So we must look at what suits us. Again, look at how we can manage our own expense and everything. So what Obasanjo is saying, that we must not adopt this and even adopt it wrongly as we are doing it today. The last one was an issue of
moving towards one party.
move on.
How can we salvage that?
That is a disaster. And it can be salvaged again by the same everybody coming together. Not just now political parties, but civil society. The people must.
So the people, the civil society, the people must react. So before you go and say Peter Obi is opposition, and because he's opposition, that's why he's saying what he's saying. There's a lot of truth to that. The office of the First Lady, no country that I know of that won development is spending billions of naira to build and create and invest and put money in the office of the First Lady, which, like Peter Obi said, that's just something that was just done in name. It's not like there's a real office. The president of America goes somewhere, stays in a hotel. It's only in Nigeria that you get presidential villa for here, Lagos, or that presidential villa for Abuja, presidential villa. It's just lavishing money as if say it's no man's business. So some things like this are things that people should be paying attention to, and there's a need to wake up. Those of us that are here that are just preaching and saying, my people, let us wake up. We need to wake up to this matter because it's something that is a decay. And the last End Bad Government's protest, the turnout was quite a disappointment, honestly, because very, very few people came out. And after Jagaban came out and gave his speech, the protest seems to die. That is why the next week or so, he bought another jet. Like, these people are not listening to us. And if we continue like this, we'll continue to get the same results.
Who appointed him?
So we should blame President Tinubu,
of course,
for anybody
or any
or
anybody that calls himself president or governor or now chairman of council.
In this period, I mean, you have said there is hardship, things are tough. But I mean, if you are to give an advice to your friend, I mean, you said the president is your friend. What do you think should be done immediately? Turn things around.
Well, many things. All these issues is revolving around the exchange rate. All these issues, including the petroleum, whatever, PMS, AGO, or whatever you call them, let him bring experts that can advise him on how to sort out the foreign exchange issue, the exchange rate of the naira. And he can't go on borrowing. He can't. He can't go on borrowing. We don't need to borrow and service the country. Let's cut our clothes, our coat according to our clothes.
Alhaji Galadima, your presidential candidate, Robbie Kwankunso, said he could do a better job. And in your mind, you think if he was in power, he could have done better?
We could have done better.
Really?
Yes.
In what ways?
Because we can even export Sheun to CNN or Al Jazeera to earn dollars. All this Japa that you people are shouting about,
You can export Sean to CNN or Al Jazeera to earn dollars. Funny man there. So, and he's right. I mean, he said a lot of things that make sense. A lot of what he said makes sense, which is the incompetence and, more importantly, the need to fix the naira. Tinubu needs to fix the naira. That's his number one priority. We talked about this with Cardoso and how Cardoso, over a year later, still cannot provide a solution. If you hire a person to do work and 1 year later, the person is not delivering, once you sack, you know, go sack the person. You're supposed to sack the person now, but it's only in governments where incompetence is celebrated. Incompetence is exonerated. People are not competent. People cannot do the work that they are hired to do. And you continue to retain them. Although I think Tinubu wants to do a reshuffle very, very soon. So it is yet to be seen if that will happen. And that tells you guys, now when they say Tinubu is the best, that tells you he has failed. Most presidencies or presidents in the rest of the world, they don't do a reshuffle like a year and a half in, unless something bad is going very wrong. So he's doing reshuffle because the people he hired they are not competent or capable to do the job. That is why he's doing a reshuffle. So the October 1 protest is something that is long overdue. It's something that should be paid attention to. And it's something that everybody, every Nigerian should be actively engaged in. And this will not be say they'll come 2 or 3 days later. They'll talk, say, okay, we not do again. Because, and that's why I like my northern brothers and sisters. People wait there for not, they know they play. They know they play at all because hunger. You know, they are very hungry in the north. And the only thing they have is agriculture and livestock. But now bandits and Boko Haram and these people have taken over. So they have no food to eat. They're not like all of you in the Southwest, or myself included, on the internet. These people have to go out and earn their food with hard labor. So when their farms, look at the internally displaced camp people, if you look at most of them, they are northerners. The land has been ravaged. So here's the video of them saying, well, we are going to protest, and there's nothing that will stop us.
Wannan zanga-zanga muna gayyata 'yan kishin ƙasa ne kawai, ba ma gayyata duk wani wanda isan shi ba ɗan kishin ƙasa bane ba. Ba mu yarda da duk wani wanda isan da cewa shi ya fito ne domin ya ɓannatar da dukiyar mutane ko ita gari shagon mutane, ba ma gayyata sa a wannan taro. Muna da ƙa'idoji da muka fito da su domin a tabbatar da kaucewa duk wani dama da ɓata gari da gurɓatattun mutane suke amfani da shi idan mun fito ta neman 'yanci na ƙasa. Kuma muna kira ga ƙungiyoyi na 'yan bijilanci, muna kira da ƙungiyoyi na mafarauta, na 'yan ƙungiya.
Okay, so what he's saying there, I mean, we need to, one point I want to make is that, for those who don't understand Hausa, sorry about that, but Nigerians need to keep fear and tribalism and religion. This needs to come out first. So it's one Nigeria, one nation under God, like we say, the national anthem. And the Northerners are people who also, they are very interested in this protest. They are not playing about it. They are not playing about this matter. It's very, very serious. It's a way to see whether government can listen to us. We are giving them a second chance. And I think here's another video talking about that as well.
All right. For us, we keep saying, and it's actually a mantra everywhere by activists and revolutionaries, that the price we pay for liberty is eternal vigilance. We are not going to sit back and watch this economy continue on this trajectory. And so it is not going to be a waste of time. The people who are wasting their time are those who are postponing the day of judgment. And I mean the ruling class. You cannot beat a child and then tell the child not to cry, or determine when the child would cry, or determine where the child would cry, as in the case of several court orders that we first of all pushed forward, that Nigerians can only protest in some designated areas and all of that. So you cannot force Nigerians into hardship and then you just expect them to keep quiet. So it's not going to be a waste of time. Those who are wasting their time, like I said, are the ruling class. They are only postponing the day of judgment. But from October 1st, a new round of protests would happen across the country and even outside the country to restate our demands. And by this time, we have 17 demands. 15 demands were actually democratically selected from a poll organized by the leader of our party, on his ex-handle. And Nigeria stated some of these demands. It was not from the head of anybody. Nigerians were the ones who said, okay, these are the things that we want. But now we've added two to it, one of which is that all bad governance protesters who are languishing in prison must be released unconditionally and immediately because they've committed no offense. We cannot have a society where activists are being hounded like this, where they are being arrested, detained, yet you have criminals, the real ones who do the crime. They are nowhere to be found. Just in the case of, you just mentioned, I think you were discussing with the last speaker, the bribery allegation of Bobrisky and how he was not in prison and all of that. So we live in a society where people who expose crime, they are vilified. but the real criminals are the friends of the ruling class. So that is not the kind of society we want as a party. That is not the society we want as a movement. That is not the kind of society Nigerians wish for themselves. And that is why the Fearless in October protest is a very important social action that everyone should be part of, including people in the media.
Okay, guys. So there you have it as well, where he was talking about again, he was referring to the Bobrisky case, saying that well, you have someone like Bobrisky who is allowed to not go to jail, but then you have youths, Nigerian youths, young Nigerian youths that are languishing because they carried a placard saying "End bad government's protest." So just on justice on every part of that conversation there. And for those of you that are joining, someone was asking me about the Dele Farutimi video. So please, if you've seen it before, bear with me. I'm going to play it again, and just to show you again, like what Dele was talking about, it just resonates very, very much so. So please bear with me while I play it again for Ibrahim 22.
Just about existing. They don't think beyond their lifetime. All they focus on is in stupid acquisition of money, obscene display of debauchery of all sorts, ever more debased acquisition of the commonwealth. Are those the ones you call elite? Mindless pursuit of money as if they are going to live forever. They live stupidly consumed by the pursuit of money. We don't have elite in Nigeria. We have no elites in Nigeria. If we were a country blessed with an elite class, they would have demanded better, both of themselves and of the society they have built. You know the tragedy of the people you are calling elite? The pinnacle of their achievement in their own eyes is their capacity to buy homes abroad and send their children abroad and be able to take their children abroad. They build things that their children cannot even inherit. They are building a country that their children can't survive in. Are those the ones you are calling elite? Which elite? Nigeria is not blessed with an elite class. Wherever you look at it, whether it's in the academia, whether it's in politics, whether it's in the economy itself, which elite? The only thing they compete about is my private jet is bigger than yours. That's all now. Which elite? What is elite about our society? Exactly what have they done in the society that is suggestive of a people that may be considered elite? What elite? All of them are carrying second passports. Each and every one of the person you may call elite in Nigeria today has a second passport. If the British who governs us indirectly or the Americans who benefit from our putrefaction have not granted them either permanent stay or residence or their passport, their children are carrying it, or they will go and buy one of the Mediterranean countries' passports, or they will go to say all these funny countries, Grenadine, this one, that one, each and every, including your traditional rulers, they all carry all these funny passports up and down the place. Are those the ones they are calling elite? Elites living in slums. Those are the elites. We have no elites in Nigeria. Don't let's fool ourselves. We have no elites. So please, stop. You don't have an elite. I'm sorry to say. There is no elite in Nigeria. Please.
Okay, guys. So again, there's no elite in Nigeria. And where are all the elites? Where did our elites go? The elites should be speaking up, but they're not speaking up. So guys, I'm going to end this stream. I was supposed to be a 30-minute stream, but it's a little bit longer. There are many things that are going on that we don't even have time to cover. But we need a peaceful protest. Sitoju dropped a comment again, and he said, guys, we leave a comment. I'll read it out, and I'll also pin it to the stream. And I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. The leaders are complete evil and they will not change. So something has to give. The leaders are complete evil and they will not change. So something has to give. And I agree with you. It's just enrichment of the pocket. Most of these guys buying private jets, they already have private jets. Why do you need to buy another private jet? Like, will a private jet take you to the moon, or what is wrong with the old private jets? In fact, there are countries where the presidents are using the commercial airlines. Maybe not the president, but the House of Assembly, the Parliament, all those guys, they are using commercial airlines. If somebody don't get money already, we don't chop, we don't belly full. Why? I don't understand why that person wants more power. Like, and when you even get the power, you are not prepared, you are not ready, you don't know what to do with the power. You'd imagine someone like Buhari that ran for presidency, I believe 4 times. His first 6 months when he was in office, for 6 months, he did not have time to appoint ministers. Buhari was in office, I think, up almost 6 months, and there was no ministers appointed. So you are shouting, you want power, you want power, you want power, you want power, you want power. They can't give you power. When you give you power, you know they're ready for the power. Or whether you even they're ready for the power, you know Sabi, the team way, you know Sabi govern, you know Sabi rule. So that's the thing that tired me for this APC matter, be that they are there saying the opposition from PDP. You now got power, you ran the country down. In the last 1 year, the Naira has collapsed more than the last 30 years under this Tinubu watch. And there are people saying Tinubu is a good man and he's trying his best, and what he did for Lagos, he can do for Nigeria. No, that's not the case. So people need to come out, people need to protest. There's a need for national protest to send the message to them that you guys, we are not in support of House of Assembly rep earning 21 million. We are not in support of the senators just chopping money anyhow. We're not in support of Tinubu and the First Lady gallivanting at the expense of Nigeria. We're not in support of him just treating people anyhow and locking up protesters and charging them for treason. When you charge protesters for treason, what you are saying is that you are minimizing the value of of treason. You are just saying that treason is not a big deal anymore, because if you are there, you are just charging anybody that does something. You say in treason. They do one thing, you say not treason. They do one thing, another thing, you call them saying treason. So it's just it's kind of not a good place. It's not a good optics, and it's not something that we should all be quiet about. So yes, we call for protests. I support those who call for protests, but I don't think the protest necessarily has to be violent. It can be peaceful, and the media needs to come out. Social media needs to focus on this, and we need to make sure that the rights of the protesters, their rights are taken into account as mandated by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you've not yet done so, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Thank you, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye now.